Becoming doesn't happen all at once. Becoming takes 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. Everything around me feels like an attack. I take 3 steps forward and 4 steps back. Everything around me feels like an attack. I get into myself, into my head. I hunker down and I focus instead, not on the issues that surround me, but on the visions that I have for myself in my head. Becoming doesn't happen all at once. It doesn't arrive as a moment. It happens quietly in small decisions. And today I choose myself becoming. Okay, let's talk about personal growth. You know what's so frustrating about it? It's that feeling. That feeling when you're pouring all your energy into becoming a better version of yourself, but you just feel stuck, or even worse, like you're actually sliding backwards. Well, today we're going to unpack that feeling because it turns out that struggle, it might just be a sign you're on exactly the right path. I mean, come on, right? If you're ever tried to change anything big in your life, to learn something new, to build a business, anything, you know this feeling deep in your bones. It's that moment where you think, yes, I'm finally getting somewhere. And then bam, the ground just seems to crack right underneath you. It's such a gut punch, isn't it? When all that hard work feels like it's vanished into thin air. Like you didn't just stall. You're actually further behind than when you started. But here's the thing. You have to know you are not alone in this. Not even close. In fact, this feeling is so common, there's a name for it. And that brings us to our first big idea today, the progress paradox. We're about to dive into why moving forward so often feels like you're just fighting a standstill. Now, this definition, this is so important because it validates that whole confusing internal battle. It's confirmation that this feeling doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. This paradox, this feeling is a fundamental part of the process of becoming. Is the friction of real genuine change. We all have this picture in our heads, right? We think growth is supposed to look like a steady, clean climb up a mountain path on a sunny day. But the reality is so much more messy, like a hard fight in the middle of a storm. It's not just a climb. You're in the constant battle with a shadow version of yourself that's trying to pull you right back down to the bottom. And that's the key. That's the internal struggle. That feeling of exhaustion. It's not a sign that you failed. It's a sign you are right in the thick of it. You're doing the real work. So if you're feeling that way right now, seriously, congratulations. But you know, this internal fight, that's only half the story. So let's talk about this next part because it seems like just when our own internal struggle is at its worst, the outside world decides to join the party and just pile on. It usually starts with the noise, you know, that constant stream of information, of opinions, of other people's expectations. It's just this background static at first, but it slowly gets louder and louder until it's all you can hear. And that noise, it eventually turns into pure chaos. All the external stress, the endless demands on your time and your energy, it just completely drains your focus. And it is so easy to get swept up in all of it. Just reacting to everything, spinning your wheels and going absolutely nowhere. This quote just nails that feeling perfectly, doesn't it? It's not just that things are difficult. It feels personal. It feels like the entire world is launching this coordinated attack against your progress, against your peace, against your focus. So what on earth are you supposed to do? This is the pivot point. This is where we stop trying to fight all the external chaos head on, and instead we make a really strategic shift inward. It's about discovering the incredible power of your own vision. Now, I know when we hear hunkering down, it sounds kind of defensive, right? Maybe even a little weak, like you're retreating, but we're reframing it completely here. This isn't about retreat. It's a power move. This is you consciously choosing to protect your energy, to guard your focus. So how do you actually do that? Well, it's a pretty simple 3-step process. First, you just acknowledge the noise. See it for what it is. Don't try to fight it because that's just a waste of energy. Then you deliberately shift your focus inward, away from all that chaos. And finally, and this is the most important part, you connect with that vision you have for yourself deep inside, that internal light. And that vision, that becomes your anchor. When the storm is raging all around you, when the winds are howling, your vision is the one thing that holds you steady. It's that calm center you can always come back to. In all of this, it leads us to what might just be the biggest, most transformative idea of all. This is where we completely redefine what becoming even means. Okay, so here's the most important takeaway for sure. Becoming is not some grand destination you finally arrive at. It's not a trophy you win or a finish line you cross. That whole idea is a total myth. The truth is, becoming is found in the small, quiet, daily decisions to just begin again. That's it, especially on those days when you feel like you've been knocked all the way back to square one. The real power is in that choice. See, real change, it doesn't happen in some big, flashy movie montage. It's happening right now in this quiet moment when you decide to try again. It's in the tiny choice to focus on your vision instead of the noise, even if it's just for 5 minutes. It's when you can quietly say to yourself, today I choose my vision. Today I choose myself. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Forget the huge picture for a minute. Forget about where you think you should be. Just for right now, for today, what is the one small quiet choice you can make to simply begin again?